Let's talk about the brutal murder of 35 years old Bright Kala from Kaduna State, who was set up, lured, beaten, and eventually murdered by a 17 years old girl. Now, this happened in Easter week of 2019. Bright, whose popular name is Pablo, was said to have gone to the Kasua market to get groceries for the family. While at the market, he stumbled upon a young girl whose name is Precious. Instantly, Bright liked Precious, and he approached her and was asking her for a phone number, in which she refused at first. And nicely, he just kept trying to toast her. He was really hoping to get her phone number so he can get to know her. Eventually, she gave him the number, and he called the number to make sure it was her number and it was not a fake number. After the phone rings, Bright was excited and he waved her goodbye, took his groceries and went home. However, when Bright got home, he tried to call the number, but it turned out that the number had been blocked. Precious had blocked him. At first, he thought it was network, but every time he used another phone to call the number would go and she would pick. It's unclear if he spoke to her through those numbers that he tried to call her with, but eventually, seeing that she had blocked his phone number, he just gave up. Before then though, he had told his friends, he had told his family of a girl he met in the market that he thought was very beautiful and that he hoped would be his last bus stop, and that he hoped he would get to date her and eventually marry her. He was in love. He talked about her to everybody that he knows, and eventually to have her block his phone number, it was bad, and so he just basically gave up. 3 days later, on the Thursday of the Easter week of 2019, Pablo was said to be having dinner with his best friend's family when all of a sudden he got a phone call, and it turned out to be Precious. Instantly, he took the call and Precious was like, "Where are you? I would like to see you." It's unclear how the conversation went, but it was said that she even asked him to send her a recharge card, in which he was happy to do. While he was eating with his friends, he told them that he had somewhere to go. And the friends were like, "You've not even started eating your food and you're already going somewhere. Who are you going to meet?" And that was when Pablo told them that it was a girl that he had been telling them about that he met in the market on Monday, that she had finally unblocked him and that she's calling him so that they would meet up. Excitedly, Pablo left the lunch he was having with his friends and went back home to freshen up. After he finished, it was said he went to Gonigora, an area in Kaduna State, to meet up with Precious. He had nothing in mind. He was just happy that the girl that he had a crush on is finally giving him an invite. He was hoping maybe when they meet in person, he would ask her in person why she chose to unblock his number after blocking it for over 3 days. But that wouldn't happen, because you see this girl right here who was basically calling this young man to his death. When Pablo got to Gonigora, he met the girl, and the girl told him that they should enter a keke to go somewhere. Pablo did not think too much of it. He probably thought it was a restaurant that they were going to, but Precious instead took him to a secluded area in Gonigora. They called the area Railway Area. Immediately they got to the railway area. That was when about 4 boys came out of nowhere. They stabbed him in his back and began beating him up with stick. It was said they broke his hands, broke his head, broke his teeth, stabbed him continuously, and then used a rope to tie tightly his private parts. When he was unconscious, they now threw his body away along the railway area in Gonigora. It was said that crowds soon gathered, and some people were reluctant to help him because they did not know what the situation was. Thankfully, a few good Samaritans took the young man to the hospital. It was said that Pablo was disoriented. The doctors there said Pablo was saying certain things that did not really make sense. It was almost as if he was still begging for his life. Maybe he thought he was still with the people who were beating him up. The doctors tried everything to save his life, but they couldn't. He eventually died. It was after he died, the doctors wanted to clean him up. That was when they noticed that his private area was actually tiled sealed to the point it swelled up. And they believe that may have been the cause of his death, adding to all the other traumas he faced in the beating. Pablo's family soon got wind of the information and rushed to the hospital to see Pablo's dead body. The doctors explained how he was brought to the hospital and how they tried to save his life, and also how they discovered that his private area was tied up. It was learning that his private area was tied up that the family knew that it could have been a woman-related issue. And that was when they remembered that Pablo had gone to see a girl the day he was killed. The family, who did not know who the girl is or what she looked like, were frustrated as to how to find this girl. They eventually got wind of Pablo's phone, and since they remembered the girl's name to be Precious, they went through Pablo's contacts and checked his recent call history, where they eventually got Precious's phone number. After the family reported to the police did not really do anything. The police told Pablo's parents to pay them a certain amount of money before they could start investigating, and the family did not have that amount of money. And so, to compromise, the family had to do the investigation themselves to the point they could. That is, in terms of finding Precious, the girl Pablo had gone to visit the day he was killed. So after they got Pablo's phone and went through his call log and found Precious's phone number, they started communicating with her. It was almost as if they tried to lure her too, because they did not want to tell her why they were calling her. It took the family 2 weeks to be able to meet Precious in person. That was when the family held her under arrest and took her to the police station. Kakuri police station, to be precise. At first, she did not say anything. That was when the police in the Kakuri police station told them to take the case and take her to the state CID. When they got to the state CID, that was when Precious made the confession that it was her boyfriend by the name of James that told her to lure Pablo to them. According to her, that day after she gave Pablo her phone number, Pablo kept calling her, and the boyfriend did not like it. Eventually, the boyfriend asked her to unblock his number and invite him over and bring him to the railway area so they could beat him up. Precious confessed in a statement she wrote for the police every detail as to how her boyfriend and friends of her boyfriend killed this young man. Her confession was written in a statement. Eventually, with her help, they were able to arrest her boyfriend James and another guy named Jaja. At the initial time, the family of Pablo thought that they were so close to finding justice for their son. Precious, her boyfriend, and all those involved in killing Pablo were initially arrested. At a point, it was said that they were going to be charged to court, and the family were following it up. However, since 2019 till now 2022, no justice has been brought for Pablo. He has been buried. However, Precious, her boyfriend, and all of them involved in killing Pablo has been released from the police custody. In fact, they were released back in 2019. They have not been charged to court, and every time the family of Pablo goes to the police to ask them what's up, what's going on, the police keeps posting them. The court keeps telling them to come today and come tomorrow. It was even learned that the boyfriend of Precious, James, has a mother who works in the court, and it was James' mother who works in the court that kept bragging to them that nothing will happen to her son, that she works in the court. And I'm guessing it's her influence that is making this case about to die. No matter what you think, this young man did not deserve what happened to him. And it was not as if he fought the boys back. This was a premeditated murder. They asked her to lure him there because they wanted to kill him. It's not as if she told him that she had a boyfriend. That wasn't mentioned. In fact, she even said so, that she never told him she was dating anyone. And yes, at the time of this incident, she was 17 years old. But he did not know either. Those were things he was going to probably know the day he was going to meet her. Hopefully they could talk. But he never got the chance to those information that would have probably made him back up or move on and look on to someone else. Instead, he was lured, beaten brutally for something he did not even know about. Pablo needs justice. And the Kaduna State CID needs to do better. It's been established that the boys who killed Pablo, they've moved on with their life. One of them is now running a barbing salon. The other one has gone into resuming his work. Everybody involved in the killing of this young man is living free, walking free on the surface of this earth amongst us. But they are criminals and they are murderers and they deserve to be in jail. But the court is not listening to the family of Pablo. The police is not listening to the family of Pablo. And that is why they reach out so their story would be told to the world. Let everyone see what they did to Pablo when his only crime was liking a girl. Share this video, like this video, comment your thoughts, and tag the Nigerian police so that they can put an eye on this case. Because this young man truly deserves justice.